Hi everyone. Today I'll be talking about chapter 5 after reading Salsone's article and the 3-minute video that gives us a little information about technological determinism. So, technological determinism is seen as a main factor that determines how society evolves, how society works and functions. It's viewed as an independent factor, and there are no other factors that matter, as in terms of technology evolving. So, in other words, technology evolving and society changing and being more modern is a cause of the technology. It's viewed as like an unstoppable factor. It influences how people behave and the increase of technology use. An example would be the invention of cars or self-driving cars, Teslas, the modern cars, electric cars, because they revolutionized transportation as explained in the 3-minute video. They lead to outcomes like changes in city designs, growth of suburbs, and creating new ways of living and working. All of these alter the structure of society. Because of the invention of new cars, because of the invention of self-driving cars, we can do this. We can now drive. We don't need to physically drive. It does it for us, with the Tesla. The creation of highways, new roads in the suburbs is a factor because of that, the invention of transportation. So in social construction of technology, also known as SCOT, as discussed in the article, it's explained as society shaping technology. So it's kind of, if you think about it, it's like the opposite of technological determinism, because there are factors that are influencing the technology. As a result of decisions, values, cultural context, anything that influences the evolution of technology. Salsone talks about how different social groups influence what technology becomes. People, institutions, and culture all play a role in shaping how technology is developed. In the form, it did ask us how a technological determinist would view the self-driving car, which is what I chose as my example, the invention of transportation or the car and the view of the car. So they would view it as it being the cause of decline of railroads, public transportation. There's less of that because of the cars, and self-driving cars is another example. It leads to the rise of suburbs and reshaping and building of more highways and cities because of the cars. And it creates a culture of individualism and mobility. It even transforms the economy by fueling industries like oil, rubber, and fast food. It's viewed in this type of viewed, it would be viewed as an unstoppable force that changes how people live, how they get to work, how economies function, and how they don't choose the outcomes of it. So that's how a technological determinist would see it as. A social constructivist would argue that the car didn't shape society alone and that there's other factors leading to it. Early cars were not very successful or popular, so it took social and political decisions to make that happen, like public investments in roads, tax breaks, to make cars more widespread and popular. But we could say they would view it as the rise of car culture was influenced from oil companies or urban planners who support highways and public transportation. Even today, like there's debates of like electric vehicles, ride sharing, that show how social values like sustainability and equity continue to shape what the car means in society, or if it's positive or not, if a self-driving car is a good thing or not. Like many people have different views whether it's positive or negative. So in their point of view, the car is not a neutral object that causes change. It's more of a social like artifact that's negotiated by and influenced by people and institutions. It's not an unstoppable factor that just happens like that.